Hello again, witchy people. The October Pagan YouTube vlog challenge, day 2. And the word for today is change. Now, change is something I have almost a love-hate relationship with. Change is something that I find very uncomfortable, very discomforting. But also change is necessary. You need change to evolve, to grow, to learn. And I love the changing of the seasons. I love how, everything around me changes throughout the year. I love all of that. But major personal change I find really, really difficult. So I wouldn't like to move. When I had my house redone, it sent me into a spiral. It really did. It was such a huge amount of change over such a long period as well. It was really difficult to cope with. If my doctor leaves my surgery and I have to have a new doctor, that's change I don't like. When I lose friends, when people close to me pass away, these are changes that hurt. And to be quite honest, some changes can be brutal to cope with. And I don't cope with them very well. So changes are... Honestly, every time I hear a word, I always associate a song with it. I've now got David Bowie singing in my head. Which is a good thing, let's face it. I think... Like I said, for me, change, it's a necessity. You can't always... If you always remained the same, you would never learn anything new. You would never grow. You would stagnate and your life would be boring. But even those times with change that I find uncomfortable and scary, when I've gone through them and I've come out the other side, at least I know that I've survived something. And I've grown because of it. And I've learnt something. So there is that definitely duality of change. There's, like I said, the changing of the seasons, the wheel of the year it's magical. That kind of change is so, I suppose because it's a regular change. It's an expected change. It's comforting. It makes me feel as though the world is right. It's the unexpected change that really throws me completely. I'm always in awe of people who can adapt very quickly to change and cope very well. It takes me a long time to get used to things, new things. Okay, some changes, even though they are quite abrupt, can be really nice. Becoming a grandmother was lovely. Each time I've become a grandmother over again, it's been absolutely wonderful. I've loved it. Becoming a mother was slightly different because you have those up to 9 months or so to get used to the idea of the change, and the change then comes on quite slowly over 9 months. That's a long time to get to adjust. Becoming a step parent, one of my children, I always talk about I have 4 children. One of them I didn't actually give birth to. She's still my daughter as much as all the other children, but suddenly becoming a stepmother was strange. It took a lot on both sides to get used to, and I think that is also some unexpected changes that happen over a long period of time are quite difficult. The change that you have in relationships as you get older, so the relationship I have with my mother now compared to when I was a child or even a teenager is so completely different. And I like it. because it's this wonderful, anyone who's an older person who, you know, also has their mother still around. It's quite a strange relationship because you are still a child, but you're an adult. So you have this relationship where you can talk like an adult, but still be told off like you're a child. And it's the same thing with my own children. They're all adults. My youngest child is now 20, she's nearly 26. And no, she's not, she's nearly 24. Just add a couple of years on. She's nearly 24. And I think we all have this really strange relationship. It's a good relationship, but it is quite strange where you can't treat your children like babies anymore, but you still treat them like your children even though they're adults. It's very strange. When you sit and think about it, I feel it can be quite strange. So a change, it really is. It's one of those weird, you say the word change and it brings up some really weird feelings for me. And I'm not sure, like I profess not to like change, but I do. But it depends on the change. Even though I don't like change, it's not that I don't like spontaneity or I can't be spontaneous, because I can be. An example of that is my husband and I. We'd known each other for about 2 years. Not face to face. We met over the CB radio, Citizens Band radio. And we talked for quite a long time. And we met, and the day I met him, I knew this was the man I was going to marry and spend the rest of my life with. The moment he walked through my door. I was actually, I met him through his ex-wife. So we talked face to face for maybe 4 or 5 months. And then we had one date arranged by his ex-wife. We went on a double date, her and her new boyfriend and her ex-husband and myself. And that was on December the 17th. And that night he asked me to marry him and I said yes. And we were married by May the following year. And I was already pregnant with my youngest. So spontaneity isn't a problem. And maybe it's something to do with control. If I am being spontaneous, then I am in control of the change. So perhaps that's where I have the difficulty. If it's a change that I am in control of, or a change that's gradual, like the seasons, then I quite like it. But when it's a change that's sudden and I'm not in control of it, or it's painful, then obviously I don't like it. So I have now waffled on yet again quite enough. Thank you for watching, witchy people. I will be back again very soon with the next instalment, which would be obviously day 3. And day 3 I think is, I will check my list, Moon. So I'll be back very soon for that. Thank you for watching, witchy people. Bye for now.